Scapula controlled articular rotations, or CARs. I usually just like to say CARs. Okay, so what we're doing here is basically we are moving the scap forward, back, up, and down. And while it may look easy, it's actually a lot harder than you think to do it without letting other things around the pelvis or the rib cage move as well. So you can do this one of two ways. You can do it just isolating each movement, or you can kind of put the movements all together in a circle-like fashion. So what we want to keep in mind when we are doing this, so you saw me do it facing away from you and then facing from the side. I can't do this perfectly. There are people out there who can do this way better than what I can, but everybody starts somewhere, and I am showing you the best that I've got to be able to teach you. Now, what we want to think about is I used a yoga block just to keep me honest with my arms so that I wasn't bending them outwards, because a lot of times when we try to, especially like come back with the scaps, we want to bend the arms. So I just found that the yoga block was super helpful for me to have a reference of what I was doing with my arms, and if I was tending to kind of let one shoulder come up more than another, then that helps me know, because the yoga block will come up. All right, so when we are getting the scaps to move forward, so this is protraction, we want to make sure that we don't dump down with our chest, okay? So this, we're not really moving our scaps. They may move a little bit, but this is more of just kind of pulling down with those rectus muscles. We want to make sure that as we're in this position right here, we can stay really nice and tall, deep core on, we've exhaled, got the lower ribs down, and then we're reaching forward to get the scaps to move. So notice that I didn't dump down at all. I really stayed nice and tall. Now, when you come back, you want to keep your arms straight, and you want to avoid arching through your low back or flaring through the ribs to get the scaps to come back. And this one is actually one of the hardest ones for me right here, because I definitely notice that I just want to let go right here and use motion from my ribs to get back. But I want to be using mid-back and really kind of pull, and think about those scaps coming closer together without sacrificing or borrowing motion from the lower ribs. Now, the next two parts are elevation and depression. So for elevation, what we want to think about here is you are not just using your upper traps to raise your shoulders up. It's a little bit different than that. So we kind of start in this neutral position right here, and I want you to think about like isolating just the shoulder blades as much as you can. So a good way to know the difference is just to sit here and kind of like shrug your shoulders like this, okay? So it should not feel like that, because this motion will feel just like a lot of this big meaty upper trap right here is kind of what's doing it for you. But we're going to be reaching right here, and then just easy does it, letting the shoulder blades come up. And then when we come down, we can really think about the lats kind of assisting us in pulling the shoulder blade down. And you want to think about that very bottom tip of the scapula kind of coming more towards your pelvis. If you want to put them all together in a circle, one of the ways to do it is you can go forward, and then up, back, and down. Forward, up. I have a hard time with this one too. Back, and down. Whatever way works for you is fine, but we really want to make sure that especially that forward one, because that gets that serratus anterior that a lot of times just needs a little more TLC than what we usually give it, especially as climbers. All right, those are your scap CARs. I hope you like them as much as I do.